Now, Mahinda Rajapaksa has taken oath as the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka for the fourth time. And with the kind of mandate his newly established party, the SLPP, has got, political observers say that he is stronger than ever. His party managed to get 145 out of the 225 parliamentary seats in the elections. With the all but guaranteed support of 5 other members, the SLPP has reached a two-thirds majority in Parliament. Now, this supermajority gives the SLPP the power to make far-reaching changes in the political landscape of the island nation. The party can change the constitution of Sri Lanka with this backing in the parliament. And experts say that the first casualty of this will be the 19th constitutional amendment in Sri Lanka. The 19th Amendment was enacted by the previous government led by Maithripala Sirisena, and it took away several of the executive powers of the president, while also placing a 2-term limit on the presidentship. While the SLPP has not openly opposed the amendment, it has given several indications that repealing the amendment is a high priority. Now, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, the younger brother of the Prime Minister Mahinda, stands to gain doing away with the term limits and restoring enormous executive powers. Gotabaya had risen to presidentship on the back of a strong mandate himself in November last year. With Mahinda now taking over as the Prime Minister, the Rajapaksa brothers are at the helm of all affairs in Sri Lanka. Both the brothers led a campaign which was high on nationalistic fervour, and they promised a strong government under a decisive leader. Analysts say this pitch worked with the voters, disappointed by the rampant corruption, infighting and misrule of the UMP-SLFP coalition government. Now, while this change of guard is expected to have a great impact on Sri Lanka's internal affairs, what also remains to be seen is how the Rajapaksas manage the country's external affairs. India, in particular, has deep-rooted interests in Sri Lanka. Both nations have shared culture and traditions, but also linked history. And Sri Lanka's strategically important location in the Indian Ocean also makes it a crucial partner for India. Not surprisingly, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi was among the first leaders to congratulate Mahinda Rajapaksa on his landslide victory. Both leaders have separately called for deep ties with the other. But Indo-Sri Lanka ties have their own set of issues. One of the most prominent and historical issues is that of Sri Lanka's Tamil community. For many years now, India has been pressing Sri Lanka to implement the 13th Amendment. Now, this allowed for more powers to the local governments of the Tamil majority northern and eastern provinces. But this push by India is not expected to yield results anytime soon. The Rajapaksas have a strong backing of the Sinhala-speaking Buddhists, a majority in Sri Lanka. The Indian government will also have to keep a check on Sri Lanka's closeness with the Chinese. The Rajapaksa brothers are known to be in favour of taking Chinese aid to support the developmental projects. Beijing has in the past loaned and granted Sri Lanka billions of dollars for infrastructure projects. And experts say it's a debt trap by the Chinese, and this assessment is not without backing. China has leased the Hambantota port for a 99-year period in return of Sri Lanka's inability to pay back. But what can act in favour of India is the perceived similarities in the respective governments of India and Sri Lanka. Just like the Modi government, the Rajapaksa government is a nationalistic government. Both the governments have a strong majority in their respective parliaments and a strong leader duo at the top. Both have a highly ambitious outlook for their countries. The road ahead for India-Sri Lanka ties is full with the twists, turns and speed breakers, but the neighbouring nations can go along at distance if they are willing to accommodate each other's needs. Our Sunday Times political Lanka editor Iqbal Atas is live with us from Colombo for more on this. Good afternoon to you. Now, Mahinda Rajapaksa has taken oath as the Prime Minister for the fourth time. And now with the two-thirds majority, he is stronger than ever.
Yes, he is. And he was sworn in this morning at a ceremony at the Kalaniya Raja Mahavihara, which is one of the oldest temples northeast of Colombo. And as you said a while ago, there is a marked difference in the government's approach towards India this time than it was before when President Rajapaksa was in power. Now, there have been quite a number of instances where their conduct has been significantly different. If I may just point out one instance which will illustrate this case, is a matter that took place about a few days before the parliamentary elections, and that was an issue in the port of Colombo about launching some gantry cranes that were brought out from China. There was a controversy and the matter was being put on hold lest the government offend India. And the trade unions went on strike and they were threatening crippling trade union action further, when Prime Minister Rajapaksa told the Indian leaders about his dilemma, in the sense that the move was not aimed pointedly at India, but this was more a local issue. And New Delhi allowed him to go ahead and said, do what you want, we are not worried. So this is the level at which there is transparency and also interaction between Colombo and New Delhi.
This is very interesting, and I do want to go back to that. This supermajority gives the SLPP, firstly, the power to make far-reaching changes, including changes to their constitution. What changes are we talking about here? They were mentioning the 19th Amendment.
Well, there is a lot of misconception, and more focus is being placed on the constitution per se. Now, there are a number of other immediate issues that they have to overcome before they reach that goal. One in particular is the economy. They have to put right the economy. Now we see a situation. Originally, they were planning to swear in a 26-member cabinet tomorrow morning at the historic hill capital of Kandy. That's at the Sri Dalada Maligawa, where the relics of Lord Buddha are enshrined. But the event has been put off for next Friday, that is the 14th of August. And evidently, there is a lot of competition over who should become ministers and who should not. So immediately they clear that hurdle. The priority will be on putting the economy right. So they will have to reboot the economy, particularly in the light of the problems that have been caused by COVID-19. And once the parliament meets on the 20th of this month, they will have to select a speaker, and then the cabinet have to move forward thereafter. And in constitution making, they have not spelled out what their principles are going to be, except to say that they were hoping to introduce changes in the constitution. So this will be in consultations even with those who are representing Tamil political parties, as well as all others. And it will obviously be through the parliament sitting as a constitutional court or a council and working out the parameters. And that's going to be a long time process.
Iqbal, with what you were saying earlier, obviously the consolidation of power of the Rajapaksas, now what will this mean for the ties between Sri Lanka and India, importantly? There are strong links, but also some historical issues, and then also with Sri Lanka's geopolitical importance in the region. India, of course, is wary about Sri Lanka's ties with China.
Oh, well, India has been showing those concerns, and I think it is the fact that those concerns were telling on the new government is what has made a significant change. That is why Colombo is reaching out more to New Delhi, and as far as what has happened in the past, that's a reality that New Delhi has acknowledged, and there is no issue about that. So what is ahead now is on any issue that concerns India or perceived to be concerning India, the government is reaching out to New Delhi, and that dialogue has been going on. And I was told today that they are looking for a good nominee to be posted to New Delhi as Sri Lanka's new High Commissioner. At the moment, the post is vacant.
Thank you very much for that detailed report on everything latest in Sri Lanka.